Scorpio, the tarot cards are revealing a powerful message for you. Scorpio, your energy is shifting, and the cards are opening a new path. Stay with me, Scorpio, because this reading may reveal what destiny has prepared for you. If this video reached you today, August 28th, I want you to know something before we begin. It was not by chance that you found your way here. I have been reading cards for people of every zodiac sign for many years, and only rarely does a deck open with the intensity it showed when I thought of you this morning. Over the next few minutes, we are going to explore what destiny has prepared for you during these days. First, I will show you why the Wheel of Fortune stopped exactly in your path. Then we will talk about the financial turn that appears with an almost frightening clarity, followed by the recognition and respect you have been waiting for. And finally, I will reveal a card that appeared in an unusual way and changes the meaning of everything else. Let me explain what this moment means, because the title of this video is not simply a beautiful phrase. It reflects what the cards actually revealed on my table. The Wheel of Fortune fell right in the center of your reading, and when this card turns toward you, this zodiac sign, it does not move slowly or cautiously. It turns with an energy capable of pulling along situations that have been stuck for months. Beside it appeared the sun, the brightest card in the entire deck. That tells me what is coming is not just temporary luck. It is a long sunrise, the kind that illuminates several areas of your life at the same time. You are an earth sign. You know patience, stability, and endurance. You have remained standing while everything around you seemed to shake, and now you are entering the part of the journey where consistency finally becomes harvest. But when I uncovered the third card, I felt a chill that I rarely experience during a reading. It was the Chariot, but it came with an unusual detail that did not fit the normal picture of a winning streak. It was such a small gesture from the deck that I repeated the reading twice just to be certain. What this detail represents is connected to a decision you will make within the next 3 days. It may look insignificant at first, but in reality, it becomes the turning point for your entire month. I will reveal exactly what it means, but first you need to understand everything that leads up to it. Before we continue, I want you to do something for your own future. Write in the comments, "This zodiac sign is present. My wheel is finally turning in my favor." Naming what you want is the first step toward calling it into your life. Every like, subscription, and comment you leave today acts like a small key opening the channel of opportunity toward you. Do it while the energy of this reading is still fresh. Now let us return to the Wheel of Fortune, because you need to understand why this card is so important in your particular situation. You naturally distrust sudden changes. You prefer what is stable, familiar, and something you can see and understand. For a long time, that caution protected you, but it also kept you in places where there was nothing more left for you to learn. The wheel appears now to tell you that the waiting period is ending. The board has already moved without you having to force anything. The only thing being asked of you is to trust yourself enough to take the step when the moment arrives. Pay attention to the order of these cards, because their order tells a story, and that story belongs to you. After the wheel came the Ace of Pentacles, the seed of new money and the opening of a material door just when you believed it was closed. This is not a lottery win or something that simply falls from the sky. It points toward a real opportunity you can actually hold in your hands. An income, an agreement, a proposal, or something that initially appears smaller than its true potential. And the beautiful part is that you have exactly the temperament needed to grow such a seed. Patience, discipline, hard work, and that determined nature that refuses to give up. But there is another layer to this opportunity. When I placed the Nine of Pentacles beside the Ace, the entire reading changed. It showed me not only the money coming toward you, but the person you become once that money finally gives you room to breathe. There is an image of you in the near future that these two cards created together. You are more independent, more secure, and finally able to enjoy the results of everything you have built. But one more piece was needed, and that piece came through the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is the card of public victory, of returning with your head held high after being underestimated. You have been looked down upon more than once. People have confused your calmness with lack of ambition and your silence with weakness. The cards show that this is beginning to change. People who do not value you today may soon have to acknowledge, even in front of others, what you already knew about yourself. That recognition does not arrive randomly. It comes because there was a moment, perhaps very recently, when you chose not to quit even though nobody was applauding you. The Six of Wands rewards exactly that kind of private consistency, the strength that continues even when no one is watching. Alongside it appeared the Emperor, representing the authority you are about to regain over your own life, your decisions, and your time. When these energies come together, They describe someone who stops asking for permission and begins occupying the place that truly belongs to them. But just when the reading seemed completely victorious, the deck asked me to slow down. Another card introduced a brief but genuine shadow into all this light. It was not a card of disaster, so do not be afraid. It was a warning about someone around you who may not celebrate your good fortune. There is a quiet form of envy nearby. Someone may appear friendly while secretly feeling uncomfortable with your progress. The card that revealed this was the Five of Swords. In your situation, it can represent a person who wins small arguments simply to feel superior, someone close enough to see your progress and be bothered by it. You do not need to confront this person. You do not need to argue, shout, or prove anything. Your victory comes from rising above the situation and continuing forward without stopping to explain yourself. The more peaceful and secure you become, the less power this person has over you. And what reassured me most was that this shadow is very small compared with what comes next. The star appeared after it. When the star follows a difficult card, it is as if the deck is telling you that the wound will heal, that your hope was not foolish, and that there really was a reason to keep believing. The star brings peace to the heart, deeper rest, and that feeling of finally being able to lower your shoulders after months of accumulated tension. You have carried a great deal in silence, and this card promises that the weight will become lighter sooner than you expect. There is also an important timing message here. The energy of the wheel becomes active between today and the next 3 days, with particular strength as this week comes to an end. During that window, stay alert, available, and willing to listen. Opportunities rarely arrive with trumpets. They often disguise themselves as an ordinary conversation, an unexpected message, or a proposal that initially seems unrelated to you. If you are distracted or trapped in fear, you could overlook something the cards have prepared for you. And this brings us to one of the strongest cards in your reading, the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles represents you at your best, calm, prosperous, generous, stable, and capable of supporting the people you love without needing to show off. The deck does not present this as some distant fantasy. It shows it as the direction you are already moving toward. Every small decision you make during these days becomes another brick in that structure. Nothing is truly insignificant right now. But there is one hidden condition behind the King of Pentacles that many readers overlook. It concerns your relationship with the money you already have, not only the money that is coming. The Four of Pentacles revealed the pattern. You may hold tightly to what feels secure because you are afraid of losing it. But sometimes you hold so tightly that there is no room left for anything new to enter. This is not a flaw. It is an old wound connected to the need for security. This month, the cards are not asking you to risk everything. They are simply asking you to loosen your grip a little. Trust enough to allow movement. When you release some of that fear, abundance that was waiting outside begins to flow inward naturally. That is why the Wheel of Fortune is so significant for you. It is asking for inner movement, not reckless external action. The change you need is not necessarily a change in circumstances. It is a change in how you hold what you already are and what you already possess. Now I want to move toward your emotional life, because this reading is not only about money and recognition. The Ten of Pentacles appeared and immediately spoke to me about family, roots, home, and belonging. For someone who values stability, this can be more meaningful than any financial reward. There is the possibility of reconciliation. A relationship that became distant may begin warming again through one simple and sincere gesture from you. It does not require a dramatic conversation. Sometimes a phone call, your presence, or simply refusing to wait for the other person to make the first move is enough. The Ten of Pentacles also pointed toward your physical home. There may be an improvement, a project that stabilizes your daily life, or something connected to the place where you sleep and rest. It may bring a sense of peace that you have been missing. For you, a secure home is not a luxury, it is the foundation from which everything else can grow. And then the sun appeared again. It insisted on repeating itself, as if the deck wanted to make sure you did not ignore this message. A repeated sun speaks of genuine laughter, better mornings, renewed motivation, and rediscovering your ability to enjoy simple things. A good meal, the company of someone you love, or the warmth of the afternoon sun. That happiness is not superficial. It is healing, and you deserve it just as much as you deserve material success. Then, unexpectedly, another card slipped from the deck. It had not appeared during the entire session. When I saw it, I understood why it had been held back until the end. The card was the Hermit. The Hermit does not represent sad loneliness in this reading. It represents a reunion with yourself that you have been postponing. There may be an emotion, a memory, or a forgiveness you have avoided because work and responsibility kept you too busy to face it. The Hermit asks you to give yourself a few moments of inner quiet, even while everything around you begins improving. There is no value in having fortune outside if you are still running from something within. No tree grows strong if its roots have no peace. That forgiveness may be toward another person, but looking at your cards, I suspect it is more likely to be toward yourself. You have judged yourself harshly for past decisions, paths you did not take, and time you believe you lost. But the wheel turning in your favor includes this lesson too. You are being given permission to stop punishing yourself. Every difficult step brought you to the exact point where this new opportunity could finally reach you. You did not arrive late. You arrived at the moment you were meant to. Justice also appeared strongly in your reading, and this card carries special importance now. There is a situation where you feel things have not been balanced, where you gave more than you received, fulfilled your responsibilities while someone else did not. The cards show that this imbalance can be corrected. The scales are moving back toward the center. What you planted honestly can return to you without you having to demand it through anger or revenge. Justice does not arrive to punish others. It arrives to restore order and place every person and situation where it belongs. This can also involve practical matters. Documents, agreements, paperwork, responsibilities, or an unresolved commitment. If you have something like this hanging over your head, the coming weeks can bring clarity and resolution. For you, having your affairs organized as a form of freedom is valuable as money itself. And now we return to the strange detail in the Chariot. Remember, I told you that the Chariot appeared with something unusual. It was moving forward with all its strength, but it was looking backward instead of ahead. That revealed your greatest risk during this positive period. Your biggest obstacle may not be an enemy or sudden bad luck. It may be your own habit of slowing yourself down just when you begin gaining momentum. The Chariot tells you to keep your eyes forward. Do not negotiate away your progress simply because the future feels unfamiliar. If you feel this is finally your moment, right, I move forward without stopping. This is my moment, and I accept it. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. Your like and comment can be the symbolic push your Chariot needs to keep moving forward. Now let us connect all the cards, because a reading is not a collection of separate cards. It is one complete message. The wheel turns. The sun illuminates. The Ace of Pentacles opens the door to material opportunity. The Six of Wands restores recognition. The King of Pentacles shows the person you are becoming. Justice brings balance. Against all of that, there are only two smaller shadows. The envy represented by the Five of Swords and your own hesitation represented by the Four of Pentacles. When the entire picture is placed together, the balance is overwhelmingly in your favor. You were prepared for this moment in a very real sense. Everything you learned by enduring, everything you built patiently while others rushed ahead and fell, was preparation for this window that is opening now. Earth signs do not always shine overnight. They shine when the moment finally arrives for their consistency to be rewarded. And that moment is approaching you now. The wheel does not turn only for someone who suddenly becomes lucky. It turns for someone who was ready when the opportunity arrived. That is why the overall feeling of your reading matters so much to me. I did not feel chaos. I did not feel panic. I did not feel the disorder of a life falling apart. I felt the steady movement of someone who is finally walking in the right direction. That peaceful energy in the background is one of the strongest signs a tarot reader can receive. So here are some practical things to remember during these next few days. Stay available for conversations that seem unimportant, because the Ace of Pentacles may be hidden inside one of them. Protect your rest and your home, because the Ten of Pentacles works best when your foundation is peaceful. And whenever you feel yourself wanting to close your hand out of fear, remember the Four of Pentacles and choose, just this once, to open it slightly. Also pay attention to the way you speak to yourself every morning. You may appear calm to everyone else while being much harder on yourself privately. That inner criticism can slow the wheel just as much as any external obstacle. When you wake up, instead of immediately thinking about everything that is still missing, recognize what you have already accomplished, even if it seems small. The star grows stronger through everyday hope. And for your family and your peace, if you want harmony to return to your home and old wounds to finally heal, right? I choose peace and reconciliation in my life. Let your words become a reminder of what you are willing to create. I also want to return to the Emperor, because this card carries a deeper lesson about respect. True respect begins with the way you treat yourself, with the boundaries you establish and the things you learn to say no to without guilt. The Emperor asks you to build authority from within, stop seeking approval, and take your place with the calm confidence of someone who no longer needs to prove their worth. When you respect yourself, people naturally adjust the way they treat you. This inner authority also protects you from the energy of the Five of Swords. People who create small conflicts to feel superior only have power over someone who doubts themselves. You are leaving that doubt behind. You do not need to confront anyone. Simply grow so much that their opinion can no longer reach you. In love, the Ten of Pentacles and the Star together speak of renewed tenderness and stability. If you are in a relationship, this can be a period of shared plans, deeper connection, and appreciation for the effort you quietly contribute. If you are single, the sun makes you brighter, more magnetic, and more open to affection. You do not need to chase love anxiously. When you allow yourself to shine, healthier connections can naturally move toward you. There is one important lesson here. Sometimes stability can become immobility, even in love. The Wheel of Fortune reminds you that relationships also need movement, new experiences, small surprises, and gestures that keep the connection alive. Break one emotional routine. Suggest something different. Reveal a part of yourself you normally keep hidden. The same fear of letting go that affects your finances can also affect your heart. Loosening your grip can create rewards in both areas. Think for a moment about a recent period when you felt nothing was moving. Remember when you questioned whether your effort was worth it, or when you almost gave up but somehow kept going. That moment was the seed of what the wheel is now beginning to bring into bloom. None of those difficult nights were wasted. Your ability to continue without immediate results is one of your greatest strengths. People who need instant gratification often leave just before the harvest. You stay, you continue, you wait, and eventually you collect what others abandoned because they were too impatient. The Wheel of Fortune rewards that loyalty to the process. Do not change that part of yourself. Refine it, guide it, and use it wisely, but do not extinguish it. That determination is part of your true wealth. Before this video ends, if you recognize yourself in that quiet consistency that is finally beginning to produce results, write, "My patience is transforming into abundance from today." Let this reading become more than something you heard. Turn it into an intention. We are now reaching the end, and I want to leave you with the final image from your reading. The deck left the King of Pentacles on my table, seated calmly, surrounded by everything he built, without hurry, without fear, and finally at peace. That is the direction you are moving toward if you trust the wheel that has already begun turning. If you release just a little of the fear shown by the Four of Pentacles, if you keep the chariot looking forward instead of backward, and if you continue honoring the patience that carried you this far, this future is not some distant fantasy. It is the natural and beautiful result of everything you have already been doing right.